Alright, this question, got a message from a supporter. It said, how are things going with the FMK Academy? Do you have more students now? How's everything with the family and business ventures? Um, you know, I'm thankful for where I'm at right now. I've grown a lot since the beginning. When I first started, had no facility to train in. Just training people out of my basement. I just got wrongfully terminated from my job, and I had to figure out, what to do with my life and my future. And from there, compared to now, it's a dramatic change. I think since 2010, so it's been like 6 years. You know, it's just so much has changed. And I've met so many different people and trained different people and experiment with different ways of teaching, and there's ups and downs, and but as far as right now compared to the beginning, I mean, I've come very, very far. I've learned a lot. I learned to become a better teacher, better father, a better person, and there was just so much more to learn. And I'm thankful to even have the opportunity to be back on YouTube, and I want to try not to take that for granted. I think a lot of my passion is from my expression on YouTube. I feel that my expression in the social media, as far as the philosophia and the spirituality and the meditation and the combative demos and the fitness training, that's kind of like my art. That is my fun way of self-expression, that really is the way of sharing something beyond the average. My school, it's a lot of it is just my way of making a living, helping people get more fit and things like that. And I've shifted my focus on my business to a lot of personal training, and I've found some really great students and clients that I teach one-on-one, that I'm very thankful to have their business, and these are the individuals that help the school stay open, to give the opportunity for people to learn. But as far as like finding people that are the right fit for this school, or that have the inner drive and motivation to excel and to reach high levels in the martial arts, body, mind, and spirit, that's still hard to come by. It's not often that I meet somebody like that, but when I do, I try to keep them close to me, and just it's nice to see my kids grow and seeing them learn. And I always try my best to become a better teacher, and there's just so much to learn as far as being a teacher is concerned. And it's just something that I feel that I'm relatively an amateur at. I'm not like that experienced in that aspect, but when it comes to just practicing the art, that's just comes natural to me. But to teach people to get to a high level, and teach them the discipline of the martial arts, and everything involved with it, the respect and the meditation and the humbleness and the fitness and the combat, it's a lot to expect, a lot to teach. Still building up the school, and even though I'm very thankful and grateful for where I'm at right now, there's just so much room for growth. Like, I still want every single one of my classes to be filled up with not just anybody, but with quality students that are like ready to learn. And it's not there. It's slowly building, and it would be like one of my I guess my visions to like every day that I go in there, every morning, every night, that the class is filled up with like 10 people of, that are working hard, that are committed and loyal and excited and want to help the school grow, and they want to better themselves, and everybody's promoting the school, and everybody, there's a lot of people that want to join, and there's so many people that want to join that end up having to have like an application process, and having the ability to filter people out, like how a real school is supposed to be, as far as like, something like a college university, just because you apply doesn't mean that you're admitted, and not everybody that applies will get admitted, and not just anybody could enter into the school. There's requirements and expectations, and the school is at a position where they could assess whether or not you are ready and capable of attending this school. And I wish to be able to build up to that level where I could where there's almost like a limitation of how many people are admitted into a certain class because the class is just too filled up. That would be an amazing thing to me, to build up towards, but clearly I'm very far from that, and I focus a lot of my business around like one-on-one training and kind of adapting to each student and client and helping them to reach their potential according to their individual goals. But as far as like building up a group of people, to reach, my vision of what should be considered a real martial artist, that is still in the making. That's still way ahead. There's still a lot, of work to be done. And it's fun to at least strive to see if one day, I could build up that strong core group of people, where they're representing a high level in the martial arts, free from competition, and being in meditation, and not highly egoistic but humble and things like that. So there's always room for improvement, but at the same time, like I said, I'm thankful for where we're at right now. So far things are going good, and I hope that there's a bright future, for FMK. As far as the family's concerned, they're doing really well. They're all growing. I love watching them grow, and I'm starting to really appreciate spending time with them. Just realizing that sacrifices have to be made to be there for them. Not just for the short term, but for eternity, or till I die. To just realize that I gotta be there for them. And prioritizing what's really important in life. Opposed to being just distracted by things that are not meaningful. For my life in particular. So right now it's just I'm mainly focused on my family and the business, the school, and building it. And that's what it is. Everything so far is going good. It's going according to the way that I am comfortable going. As far as my expression online, I feel ever since I've been back on YouTube, I feel that everything that I've been putting out there is something that I'm comfortable with, something that is not too offensive or negative, but just a combination of being real and honest, with being professional, with being just honest. I feel that that's important for me, and just realizing that, hey, even though one of the goals is to accumulate money and wealth to grow the business, that there are certain standards that have to be met, and certain things that, certain integrity that has to be held, where it's not just all about the money. That there's a limitation of how much money um, is necessary, and the balance between like money and just truth. Just basically like controlling your greed, not getting too greedy, like knowing when enough is enough, like not growing too fast, for example. Like I'm busy trying to build this one school up. It make absolutely no sense to try to build another school when when this primary school needs so much work and development. And how I've been training, open the school for about 5-6 years, and still to create a black belt, it's still not there. I mean, it's still a lot of work, and not to just just label a bunch of people as black belts or whatever the case may be when they're not. That it's just takes time, and essentially there's no such thing as a black belt according to my eyes. It's more like, when are you ready to grow? When are you ready to feel that this single individual can in a way franchise out your name in your school and build another location according to your guidance and your principles, and living up to the martial way. It's far from that. I mean, it's like building up like a small army of people that have like high discipline in what they do, and just through perseverance, through the test of time, they've proven over and over again that they truly do have real kung fu within. And I'm talking about like over 10 years of continued like dedication and continued like just practice. And they're at the point where they're like capable of doing everything that I'm doing as far as like promotion, marketing, and advertisement, and building up a school, protecting the reputation, not just the body, mind, and spirit. Yeah, the body, mind, and spirit is the martial arts, but there's a business aspect to it as well, and like growing a business together. That to me is like what a black belt is supposed to represent, and that's not going to come by often, where somebody's going to be able to just take your lead, work with you as if you're like almost business partners, and you are growing together, building wealth together, representing together, body, mind, and spirit. And that may or may not ever come by, because even with my kids, my 5 kids, like, if it's not in them, if they don't have the motivation, if they want to do something else, then they just can't. They can't run the school, or they can't build another school, or they can't, run another location, because they want to do something else. And that to me, if anything, is what like building up a person to a black belt is supposed to be for. Like building up somebody that can do everything that you're doing, to pass on the teachings the way that you're passing them on, under your guidance. And mostly everybody that train has their own things going on in life, and they're doing their own careers, and they're training on the side as a personal development. But there's nobody that's really in it for doing it as a whole entire lifestyle. And that takes time. It takes a lot of time, because it took me a very long time to get to where I'm at right now. I went through a lot in life. Practicing in the martial arts, going to college, graduating from college, getting some jobs, learning about life, getting in a relationship, getting married, having kids, and then finally, you know, now I'm running my own school. You know, it took, you know, well over 20 years to get to this point. You know, so I want to just keep training the people, see how good they get, and how far they want to go into it. But essentially, is to grow it beyond where it's at. And I see it growing, but it just takes time. It's like having a kid, you know, like he might be 5 years old, but doesn't mean that he's ready for life. You know, it takes at least 18 years to build up a child to get to the point where he can be ready, you know, to experience life on his own. You know, and I think it's the same thing with the martial arts. You know, things don't happen overnight. Things can't be rushed, and I think that's what my problem was in the past. Was I was trying to rush things too much. You know, it's like, you know, like building up a black belt in a year or something like that, or 2 years. It doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? Like, it takes time. Even relationships. You know, like being with my wife right now, I've been with her for like, since maybe like, I've been with her for like 13 years. You know, I've been with her for 13 years. My oldest child is 10 years. Been running this school for about 6 years. Been practicing martial arts for 25 years. You know what I mean? Like, everything takes time. You know, if I'm gonna build somebody up to be like really, really good in the martial arts, it's gonna take a good amount of time. You know, you gotta be patient. And it's not just all about money. You know when enough is enough. And to not to be too greedy, but to be thankful for what you have. Money, overspend, and one of my biggest goals is to keep this school open until I die. You know, that'd be one of my biggest goals, to keep the school open till I die. And then during that time, find out who's gonna be the one that's gonna take over when I die. You know, and if during that time, if it's getting very successful, and there are students that are representing to a high level, then see if potentially if another location could be opened. But that's just too far ahead. Right now, it's mainly about, can I get this location to fill up? That's the main goal right now. Can I get this location to fill up with students that are like really ready to learn? You know, so ready that that they take it very seriously, as if they're trying to get their college degree or something like that, or they're joining the Army, the Marines, or something like that, where they have this inner drive and passion to excel beyond the average. Those are people that I want to locate. If I find them, I'll keep them close to me if I can.